Morning. I just wanted to check in and see how everyone's doing out there and give you an update and talk about a couple things. One thing I was thinking about this morning, me and my sister made an agreement yesterday to start journaling something in the morning with little prompts or just whatever we felt like writing about, and I already forgot. So sorry, sis. So I decided maybe I'd make a video and maybe it would count. I'll have to ask her about that. Sis, lovely, lovely sister, does making a video count? I hope so. If not, I'll be happy to start writing because it's a good habit to have. And my son's doing it, so we can do it. But anyways, I wanted to talk today about labeling things, like labeling people, places, and things. Because when we have a habit of looking at something and labeling it, we think we understand it and we keep those people in a box if we're talking about people. Like she's a mother, he's a father, he's a dentist, she's a chiropractor, and that's all we see them as. And in a negative sense, everyone wears many hats, right? There's depth and way more to everyone than we know when we look at a person and say, she's this, he's that, he's a liar, she's a, whatever. I don't want to say any bad words. But the thing with that is it puts us in a position to label and then we judge. We label and we judge. We don't like when that happens to us. So why would we do it to anybody else? But it's just a habit. We kind of were raised in a situation or an environment where that's just a normal thing to do as we go about our day. She's a this, he's a that. So I want you to practice not doing that. When you catch yourself labeling someone or something or someplace, just catch yourself and make note of it. And then maybe you can try to change that or avoid it. Another thing is judging people, of course. Don't do that because automatically it makes another person or a group an enemy or an adversary, and not everyone is that. It really narrows our own field of experience when we do stuff like that, so please don't do that. But I wanted to talk to you. Last time I talked about step 1 to quitting an addiction or a nasty habit, and that would be to stop condemning yourself or beating up on yourself. It takes practice. When you catch yourself beating up on yourself or regretting something or wishing you hadn't done something, all these years have been wasted, whatever it is, just stop it. Because where you are now is where you are. And that's where you are. And that's okay. Everyone is where they are in their lives, in their growth experience, in their situation. And it's fine. Another thing to think about is, what do you want? What do you want? No one ever asked me that. Growing up, never once did someone say, what do you want? What kind of things would you like to do as you get older? Who do you want to be? What do you want to experience? None of those things. So today, I want you and me always to think about what you want. And an assignment for that would be I always go like this in this chair. I love it. It's my favorite chair. Sorry for the messy garage in the background. It is what it is. And hopefully you'll see progress in that in the coming months as I record it for myself mostly, but also for you. But what do you want? When I first heard this assignment, I did it right away, and it was to just get a notebook and think about what I want, what my life would look like if I could choose today. What would it look like? Where would you wake up in the morning? What would the environment be like? What would your house look like? What things and people would you be surrounded by? What would your workday look like? What kind of environment do you want to live in? Things like that. Just think about what you want, because as this sign here says, the only way to get what you want is to know what that is. Get specific with it. It's an assignment, but it's a fun one. And it gives you an idea of what you want different. What do you want to change? Because where you are now in relation to what you want, it doesn't matter. It's still achievable. It doesn't matter where you are, what your life situation is, okay? So think about that. Another thing is step 2 for quitting an addiction or bad habit, and that is to learn something new. Anything. Even watching this video today, you might be learning something new that you hadn't heard before. And if you want to expand further on that, dig deeper in that subject, then do it. There's plenty of information out there. The thing with personal growth is you'll spend more time to yourself alone rather than hanging out with people that you normally hang out with. It takes time on your own to expand your vision and expand your mind, expand your perspective, okay? That's the most important thing, because oftentimes we're living in an environment where it's very limited, and pretty soon it's impossible to see beyond it, to perceive that there's anything beyond it. And it's very important to get out of that mindset. And one way is to learn something new. It creates new neural networks in your brain. It's very healthy for you, and when quitting an addiction specifically. But for everyone, not enough people are doing it. So learn something new about a place. It could be science. It could be art. Anything you want. Learn something new. It could be action, or it could just be delving into spirituality. That's how I did it. But I like to learn about science and neuroscience, and it's very important, especially, and very useful if you're an addict or living in and experiencing an unhealthy habit on a day-to-day basis, to understand how the brain works in relation to that. It's very, very useful, because you're not stupid. I know that. In fact, many people who are addicted to drugs and alcohol or other behaviors are very intelligent, very fast learners. That's a neuroscientific fact. So look into that if you want to. That's basically all I have to say today. I just want to say hello and check in and make sure everyone's checking in on their thoughts about beating up on yourself. Practice. Takes practice. And I'll see you soon. I just wanted to shout out real quickly, and I hope everyone's doing well. Have a good Saturday. Bye.